artists, welcome back to Art at Home. I was gonna try to catch up on some of the drawing requests that you have been submitting. There are a ton of them. I can't keep up anymore, so I'm just gonna do my best. But there was one request that really stood out to me. Baron requested that I demonstrate how to draw a gorgosaurus, which I never heard of before. Now here's the thing. If you guys know Baron, you know that he probably already knows how to draw a gorgosaurus better than I do. So when I saw that request, I didn't see it as a request. I saw it as Baron challenging me to draw a gorgosaurus. Well, you know what, Baron? Challenge accepted. I'm gonna give it a shot. We'll see. You're gonna criticize it. That's okay. Maybe you can show me how to draw a gorgosaurus next time. But I'm gonna give it a shot. Here we go. So at this point, I am really struggling with this drawing. I'm not used to dinosaur proportions. I'm looking at a photograph, but I know that most of these lines I'm making right now are not going to be the final lines of my drawing. But by just trying and putting my marks down, they're helping me find my final lines that are really going to count in the end. So now as I start putting ink on my drawing, I'm getting some final marks. I'm having to make some decisions that I have to live with for the rest of this drawing. I'm using all that hard work I did with the blue pencil to try and figure out where everything goes and solves problems. I'm using that as my guide to help me. but I'm also trying to stay loose. This is a whole new set of marks. I'm not just tracing, I'm redrawing right on top of those blue lines. The tool I'm using here is called a brush pen. It's really just a pen, but instead of a point on the end, it has bristles like a paintbrush, and it's just full of drawing ink. I like it because I can get all sorts of marks out of it. I can get really skinny marks, or I can fill in big black areas. And if I go really fast with it, I get a cool, what's called a dry brush effect, where you get those rough edges. It's one of my favorite things to draw with. With every drawing, I like to have a balance of light and dark marks. And for a realistic drawing like that, I'm really thinking about where is the light shining from, and so where would shadows fall? And if the light is coming from up above, then the shadows need to fall on the underside of the dinosaur, so down near its feet, on the underside of the tail. Its big head and jaw would be casting a great big shadow on its body. At this point, I'm thinking about the texture of the dinosaur, and I'm imagining its tough, scaly skin. So I'm trying to add some details that indicate to the viewer how tough this dinosaur's skin would be. I'm using repeated little marks, little tiny U-shapes that look kind of scaly. Here I'm trying a brand new technique for me. I'm putting kind of blobs or puddles of ink down and using a tissue to just smear them around. I'm kind of thinking about the forms that I'm filling in and the composition of my drawing. Where do I want the dark parts to be? Where do I want the light parts to be? You can see I went right over his leg. That's because I'm going to go back in with whiteout later and kind of fix up some areas and bring back the light spots that I'm going to need. And it was pretty scary trying this out because I'm smearing ink right across the drawing that I've been working on for a long time now. But ultimately, you have to take chances to make your art move forward. If you don't take chances, it's going to stay the same forever. So I took a chance here, and I actually really like how this turns out. It's a whole different effect. And I could really see myself using this technique in future drawings. So just another tool in my artist toolbox. So because of that smearing, smudgy, messy ink technique that I was using, I lost a lot of my edges on my dinosaur. So thinking about the design of my drawing, I needed to get some of that back. So I used my whiteout pen to draw in some white areas to refocus some of those smeared out, smudged spots on my drawing. Now, when I take out my whiteout pen, or an eraser for that matter, I don't think of it as a tool for fixing things. I just think of it as another drawing tool. I'm drawing with white now instead of drawing with black. Alright, Baron, there is my Gorgosaurus. Dramatic lightning storm. What a ferocious beast. Thank you for that challenge, Baron. That was really hard. I know I might have made it look easy. I sped up that video, but man, I was struggling along the way, particularly when you saw me drawing with the blue pencil. I was really trying to figure out where everything went. But you know what? I learned a lot while I was drawing this. I think this is my first realistic dinosaur. I've done a ton of cartoon ones, but this is my first realistic one. I tried some new things with ink. You saw me smearing it with a tissue. Got a kind of cool effect. Yeah, so it's when you go out of your comfort zone, you try something new, a friend challenges you to try something different. That's when we learn, that's when we get better. So guys, keep trying with your art, keep struggling. That's what we do. All right, I'll see you next time with Art at Home.